Ambassador Chun stood alone in the grand chamber of the Veltary Council. The room stretched high above her head, built for beings 3 times her size. Crystal pillars held light that seemed to breathe with colors humans had no names for. She was small here. They wanted her to feel small. She did not. Across from her sat the Doge of the Veltary Dominion. His name was Korthax the Eternal, though humans simply called him the Doge. His skin was pale blue, stretched over a skull that seemed too large for his body. 4 eyes blinked at different times, studying her like one might study an insect before crushing it. Behind him stood 12 council members, each wearing robes of woven light. They had ruled this sector for 9,000 years. They had never lost a war. They had never needed to negotiate. Chun placed the data tablet on the stone table between them. The sound echoed through the chamber like a small thunder. "These are our terms," she said. Her voice did not shake. "The release of the colony ships you captured. The return of the 17,000 human civilians you hold in your processing facilities. A formal apology delivered to the United Earth Parliament. And a non-aggression treaty lasting 100 standard years." The Doge did not look at the tablet. His 4 eyes remained fixed on her face, and slowly his thin mouth curved into something that was not quite a smile. "You come to my chamber," he said, his voice deep and ancient. "You stand in the heart of my dominion, and you make demands." "I offer terms," Chun corrected. "There is a difference. There is no difference when one holds no power." The Doge leaned forward, and the light in the room seemed to dim around him. "Your species has traveled among the stars for less than 3 centuries. We have ruled this region of space since before your kind learned to make fire. You are nothing. Your fleet is nothing. Your worlds are nothing." Chun remained still. She had expected this. They all had. "We took your colony ships because they entered space that belongs to us," the Doge continued. "We took your people because they are useful. They work well in our minds. They die slowly, which is efficient. And you, little ambassador, you think you can come here and make demands?" One of the council members laughed. It was a horrible sound, like rocks grinding against each other. "I am offering you a chance," Chun said quietly. "This is that chance. Take it." The Doge rose from his seat. He was massive, towering over her, his shadow swallowing her completely. "I refuse your terms, all of them, and I will add your ship to my collection. Your crew will join the others in the processing facilities. And Earth will learn what happens when insects fly too close to gods." Chun nodded slowly. She picked up the data tablet and placed it back in her coat. "Very well. I will inform the fleet." "What fleet?" The Doge laughed again. "The 5 ships hiding behind your moon? We have already detected them. They will be destroyed within the hour." "Not those ships," Chun said. She turned and walked toward the door. Her footsteps echoed in the silence. At the entrance, she paused and looked back over her shoulder. "I meant the other fleet." The Doge's eyes narrowed. For the first time since she had entered the chamber, he looked uncertain. "What other fleet?" Chun smiled. It was not a kind smile. "The one that has been waiting for your answer." She stepped through the door and disappeared into the corridor beyond. For 30 seconds, there was silence in the council chamber. Then the alarms began. Admiral Wei stood on the bridge of the ISV Retribution, flagship of the 3rd Imperial Fleet. Around her, hundreds of officers worked at their stations, their faces lit by the glow of tactical displays. Through the main viewport, she could see the Veltary homeworld turning slowly in the darkness. It was beautiful, she thought. Blue and green, like Earth had been before the wars. It was almost a shame. "Admiral," her tactical officer called out. "The ambassador's shuttle has cleared the atmosphere. She's en route to our position." "Good," Wei said. "Status of the fleet?" "All 247 vessels report ready. Weapons hot. Shields at maximum. Jump drives charged." Wei nodded. She had been preparing for this day for 15 years. Since the first colony ship disappeared. since the first reports came back of humans being worked to death in Velthury mines. Since she had stood in the Parliament chamber on Earth and watched the representatives argue about diplomacy and patience and the importance of peaceful contact. She had been patient. They all had. Humanity had sent 7 ambassadors to the Velthury over the past decade. All 7 had been executed. Chun was the 8th. She was also the last. Not because the Velthury would kill her, but because there would be no more need for ambassadors after today. "The Doge has refused our terms," came Chun's voice over the communication channel. "He was very clear about it." "Understood," Wei replied. "Welcome back, Ambassador. You might want to watch this." On the tactical display, Wei could see the Velthury defense fleet beginning to move. 300 ships, each one massive, each one carrying weapons that could crack a planet. The Velthury had never lost a battle. Their technology was superior. Their ships were larger. Their experience was vast. But they had never fought humans before. Not really. The scattered colonies they had raided, the civilian ships they had captured, these were not battles. These were massacres of the helpless. The Velthury did not know what humans could do when they were not helpless. "Admiral," the tactical officer said, "the Velthury flagship is hailing us. Put it through." The Doge's face appeared on the main screen. His 4 eyes were wide now, and Wei could see something in them that she had waited 15 years to see. "Fear. You cannot do this," the Doge said. "We are the Velthury. We have ruled this sector for 9,000 years. We have weapons you cannot imagine. We will destroy you." Wei smiled. "You had your chance, Doge. We offered you terms. You refused them. We gave you 7 opportunities to make peace. You killed our ambassadors. You took our people. You worked them to death in your mines. And now you think you can threaten us?" "I will burn your worlds," the Doge hissed. "I will hunt your species to extinction. Every human in the galaxy will suffer for this." "No," Wei said simply. "They will not." She cut the communication and turned to her weapons officer. "Target their fleet. All ships. Fire at will." The space around the Velthury homeworld erupted into light. The battle lasted 4 hours. In those 4 hours, the Velthury learned something that would change the galaxy forever. They learned that humans were not like other species. They did not fight for territory or resources or pride. They fought for their people, every single one of them. And when they fought, they did not stop. They did not negotiate. They did not accept surrender until they had won completely. The Velthury flagship was the first to fall. Wei had ordered every ship to focus fire on it, not because it was the greatest threat, but because the Doge was aboard. She wanted him to understand, in his final moments, that his 9,000 years of dominance meant nothing, that his gods were not gods at all, that they were just another species that had made the mistake of harming humanity. The flagship broke apart in a bloom of fire and radiation. The Doge did not eject. Wei was not surprised. Beings like him did not run. They died believing they were still superior, even as the evidence of their defeat surrounded them. The rest of the Velthury fleet fought hard. Their weapons were powerful, their shields strong. They destroyed 32 human ships in the first hour alone. But for every ship they destroyed, humanity destroyed 10 of theirs. And unlike the Velthury, humans did not need to win every battle. They just needed to win the war. By the 3rd hour, the Velthury fleet was in full retreat. By the 4th hour, it was gone. 178 Velthury ships destroyed. 94 captured. The rest scattered to the edges of the system, their commanders sending desperate messages of surrender that Wei ignored. She stood on the bridge of the Retribution and watched the Velthury homeworld turn beneath her. The cities were still lit, the population still alive. She had not ordered any strikes on the surface. "Not yet. Admiral," Chun's voice came over the communication channel. "What are your orders?" Wei thought about the 17,000 humans still in the processing facilities below. She thought about the colony ships, the families torn apart, the children who had grown up as slaves. She thought about the 7 ambassadors who had gone to the Velthari with offers of peace and had been executed for their trouble. "We offered them terms," Wei said finally. "They refused. So now we give them new terms." She turned to her communication officer. "Open a channel to the surface, all frequencies. I want every Velthari on that planet to hear this." The officer nodded. "Channel open, Admiral." Wei stepped forward, her image broadcasting to billions of Velthari below. "This is Admiral Wei of the 3rd Imperial Fleet of Humanity. Your Doge is dead. Your fleet is destroyed. Your dominion is over. These are your new terms." She paused, letting the silence stretch. "You will release every human you hold, every single one. You will provide full medical care for those you have harmed. You will surrender all records of your actions against our people. You will pay reparations to every family affected. And you will sign a treaty that places your entire dominion under human oversight for the next 500 years. She could imagine the Velthari Council members watching, their 4 eyes wide with horror. She could imagine them understanding, finally, that the galaxy had changed. "You refused our terms once," Wei continued. "We gave you a chance, and you laughed at us. You called us insects. You thought we were beneath you. You were wrong. We are not insects. We are not gods. We are humans. And we protect our own." She gestured to the communication officer, and the channel closed. Behind her, Chum stepped onto the bridge. The ambassador looked tired, but there was a fire in her eyes that had not been there before. "Do you think they will accept?" she asked. Wei smiled. "They do not have a choice." She turned back to the viewport and watched the Velthari homeworld turn slowly in the darkness. In the distance, the first human transports were already descending toward the surface, carrying soldiers and medics and everything needed to free 17,000 people from bondage. The war was over. Humanity had won, and the galaxy would never forget the day the Doge refused their terms, and the Imperial fleet gave no more terms in return.